Hello YouTube, Wes here checking in with a brand new episode of the Vinyl Survivor. This is where I go through all the albums I buy, either buying on thrift stores or garage sales or buy in a record store or buy online. They sort of go all into what I call an inbox, and I sort of work my way through that inbox, cleaning up each record and listening to it and getting an idea of whether it's something I want to keep or whether it's something that's going to be going away. So this is where I talk about what I liked, what I didn't like. This episode, I think I'm going to title it All Killer, No Fiddler, because all these albums are awesome. I don't really set these shows up. They're sort of done in the order that things were listened to, and I just happen to get into a batch of 10 here that are just 10 great albums. So let's go ahead and get into it. First album I have to talk about today is an album by the UK folk band Fairport Convention. This is their album titled Liege and Leaf. Definitely a hyped up album among the people I interact with online as far as records go, and I have to say this one lived up to the hype. This is an awesome UK folk album, just killer stuff. Yeah, beautiful folk music, and love this. It sounds modern still today. It doesn't have a dated sound. You go to a folk festival today, you're going to hear a lot of stuff just like this. It's great. Folk doesn't change that much, but it sort of has its styles and whatnot, and this is just excellent. As I said, killer stuff here. I love this one. Awesome. And that one's on the A&M Records label. So the same label that brings you whipped cream and other delights and things like that. Awesome English UK folk stuff here. Okay, next thing I have to talk about is, I guess, what could be called a horn rock album, I guess you could say, kind of in the Chicago vein somewhat. That's the band Mom's Apple Pie with their self-titled album. 1972 is the date on this one. This one is well known for this band cover, quite graphic on the cover there. It's good music also, good interesting musically album. Really enjoy this. As I said, it's kind of a horn rock kind of sound. This is on Brown Bag Records, and they give this sort of brown bag inner sleeve with the, I don't know what they call that, a waffle cut top there or something. It looks sort of like a brown grocery bag. The Brown Bag Records label. Yeah, pretty good musically. As I said, I tend to collect band covers and stuff like that, sort of unique covers, and that's the main reason I picked this up, is just for the cover. But a good solid album, and it's something I enjoyed listening to, and I think I'll definitely listen to it again. So that's Mom's Apple Pie, self-titled, 1972, staying in the collection, gets a thumbs up from me. Okay, next thing I have to talk about is a band that I know is well loved in the vinyl community, something that was new to me. I wasn't sure what I was getting into, but I knew people liked it, and I thought it was definitely worth giving a try. And my friend Mike here in town gave me this as VCLT, which is just awesome, because this is not something you normally find in the wild. But this is the second album from the band The Soft Machine, Volume 2. The Soft Machine are a jazz rock group, and with this particular one, I don't know how the other ones albums are, but this one leans heavily into the jazz genre. I thought this was going to be more rock and roll than it was, but it's very jazz forward. So if you're a jazz fan, probably will like this one quite a bit. Nice gatefold on it. At least on the ABC Probe Records label. So yeah, that's Soft Machine Volume 2, gets a thumbs up from me. Jazz rock, leaning heavily into the jazz side of jazz rock, but still a little bit rock and roll and interesting music. And yeah, thanks again, Mike, for giving me this, and I'm glad I got to hear it, and it's staying in the collection. All right, next thing I have here is moving into the 80s here, a piece of, I guess you'd call it new wave music. This is the album by Torch Song titled Wish Thing. 1984 on the IRS label. Torch Song features William Orbit, who would go on to be a techno producer in the 90s, a well-known producer. But yeah, cool piece of 80s sort of new wave kind of stuff here. This is another VCLT gift from Mike. Is the album itself sort of on a plumish colored IRS label, which is not what I'm normally used to seeing on the IRS label. I'm usually used to that white label, but sort of a custom label for Torch Song there. Yeah, so nice release from Torch Song, and this one gets a thumbs up for me, and it's staying in the collection. Next up, another one that was a gift from Mike, another jazz piece here. We got Stanley Turrentine with the Mr. Natural album on Blue Note Records. Let's see here, 1980 is the date on that. So moving into a later piece. Yeah, Stanley Turrentine, Lee Morgan, McCoy Tyner, Bob Crenshaw, Elvin Jones, and Ray Barretto are on this. So this was actually recorded in 1964 at Van Gelder Studios, but wasn't released here until 1980. 1980 Blue Note label with the big B, blue label, and just some good solid. I mean, you heard the lineup. It's just some great jazz here, great sort of just awesome 60s jazz. It's just great stuff, and definitely like this one a lot. Thumbs up. It is staying in the collection. Okay, next we have another gift from Mike here. I got into that sort of area where he had given me a bunch of great records, and this is yet another one of them. This is another addition to my collection of the National Geographic records. This is The Music of Greece, released in 1969. Yeah, awesome Greek music here. It sort of takes you on a tour around the island, sort of gives you a different feel for the northern part of Greece versus the southern part of Greece, the different folk styles and the different dance styles that were popular in the different areas of Greece. And rather than being glued into the center, the booklet on this one is actually a separate actual booklet with great National Geographic photography, and then all the lots and lots of liner notes, as I said, that gives you information about the different regions of Greece and the different folk traditions that happened in those regions. So this is really just a fun sort of historical way to travel and explore and sort of get an audio version of the National Geographic magazine. It's the National Geographic label with a So yeah, that's The Music of Greece on the National Geographic Society label. Great stuff, as I said. Really enjoyable, really educational, and a great way to explore different types of music, different folk music from around the world, and this is The Music of Greece, so really enjoyed it. All right, moving on into a bit of country music, and I love my female country singers. This is Loretta Lynn's Fist City, just classic female country singer here and doing some good songs. Really enjoyed listening to this one. And it's on the Decca label. Do like that label quite a bit. This one's got I Don't Want to Play House, Satisfied Mind is on here, How Long Will It Take, Loretta Lynn, Fist City, another thumbs up for me. Great female country artist and a great album, and definitely glad to have this one in the collection. Okay, next up, moving back into the jazz genre, and we got a killer one here. This is Coltrane with Ole. So features Freddie Hubbard, McCoy Tyner is on here, Reggie Workman, Elvin Jones on drums. But yeah, just some excellent Coltrane stuff. Classic album from him, and really good. Really enjoyed this one as well. As always, on the Atlantic red and green label, stereo copy here of this album. All right, this next one is pretty fitting, seeing that we're moving into the Christmas season right now. So got a Christmas album here for you. This is the Low Christmas album. Just a really beautiful Christmas album. If you've listened to Lowe's music before, it's very moody. This is just a beautiful great Christmas album. Definitely glad to have this in the collection. This is something that was on my wish list, and I found it in the Second and Charles store, sort of the half-price books-like store we have here in town. I found this right around the time they opened up, and I was really happy to find this in the wild. It was something I had wanted for a while, just had never pulled the trigger on ordering it online, and I managed to find it locally, which is cool. Beautiful, melodic, really somber winter holiday Christmas kind of music here. A label with the track listings, and then side B just has a snowflake on it. Yeah, this one's definitely going to be getting some spins here in the next few weeks. Really gonna enjoy this one a lot, always do. Lowe's Christmas, another thumbs up for me. Great album, and definitely staying in the collection, and going to be getting a good bit of spins here in the next few weeks, as I said. Okay, last but definitely not least, something that sometimes is referred to as the Melt Face album. This is one of the self-titled albums by Peter Gabriel. This one is from 1980, features the probably the most known song on here, maybe Games Without Frontiers or Biko. Those are both pretty good ones. Also has No Self-Control on here, and Through the Wire. Excellent album. Really enjoyed this album through all the way. You know, I heard a lot of the songs on here, but hadn't heard everything, and definitely enjoyed the full album as an album experience. So, you know, love Peter Gabriel, and yeah, like this one quite a bit. This particular copy I have here has an insert with some artwork and liner notes and lyrics on it. The Mercury Tower label, I guess you could call that. Sort of reminds me of the Warner Brothers Palm Tree label, except it's not quite as distracting as that label is. Final album, Peter Gabriel, self-titled, 1980. Thumbs up for me, staying in the collection. All 10 records, all 10 of them are awesome. If you see something here you like, I don't think you can go wrong with trying any of them. They're all thumbs up for me. So thank you for watching this episode of the Vinyl Survivor. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, leave me any comments or questions you have, and stay tuned, and we'll see you again next time. Cheers.